Once again, with the new M2 MacBook Air, I have to go through the whole process of reinstalling all of the apps that I use on a daily basis. So in this video, I'm going to show you 6 of those apps that I use to help keep me productive and explain why I use them to hopefully help you uncover an app that you've not seen before. As always, if you like the content, then please consider subscribing, as it really does help me to create more for you. And this is basically my full-time job now. And I'm going to link down below for any discounts that I can find for each of these. So check there for anything I talk about in this video. And to get started, let's kick off with one that I use constantly and throughout the day, and that is Todoist. Now, I've tried so many to-do apps over the years, and Todoist has been the one that I've settled on for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's cross-platform, so it doesn't matter if I'm on an iPhone, Android, Mac or PC, it just works the same. I can also use it for just a basic checklist of items, so I don't forget to take the bins out or regularly invest or water plants or post blog posts and any other matter of tasks. And when you add a task, it recognizes like natural language, so you can type what you say and it will do it. For example, remind me to book a haircut every 4 weeks. It will do that. Or remind you to water the plants every other day. It can do that too. But the power comes with what you can integrate this with. Now, firstly, I have projects set up down the left-hand side where I add tasks into specific buckets, and I can share those buckets with other people. So I have a virtual assistant who goes through my delegated task list, and she takes care of anything I put in there. I also have a deliveries list, which I use to remember what I've ordered, and I can kind of keep a rough track of when to expect them to arrive. And you can even take this one step further by integrating it with a service called Zapier, which for me is really, really powerful. Now, every time I post a video on this channel, a few seconds later, a task will appear in my Todoist for my VA to turn the video into a blog post. Once it's done, it gets checked off and the blog post gets posted. Now, when the blog gets posted, I get a task assigned to me that reminds me to repost that blog post onto a blogging website called Medium. So it is really, really powerful, and as long as you take the time to sit down and set up all of those things behind the scenes, because once they're done once, then you never have to remember to do them again. So yeah, number 1, Todoist, absolutely love that app. Next for me is Moom, M-O-O-M, which is a window management app for the Mac. And this works really, really well for me on my Mac and this crazy like big 49-inch widescreen behind me. Now, I don't really use Moom to its full potential. All I do with it is save the size and position of certain windows. So if I suddenly find myself with a mess of windows in front of me, I can just tap a keyboard shortcut and it will quickly move everything around to be just a bit more organized. I used to take this a step further when I carried around my laptop to work and back, where I'd walk into work and run a shortcut on my Mac, like an automation shortcut that basically launched all of my work apps like I use, like email and browser and music, to-do apps and so forth, and then ran the Moom shortcut to put everything in the right place, and that worked really, really well. Number 3 is 1Password, another app that I genuinely use every single day, multiple times, and it's been the best password manager that I've come across so far. I've made a ton of videos about it on this channel already, so I won't blab on about it too much, but there are some discount codes below for 50% off if that's of interest to you. Again, it works cross-platform, Android, iPhone, Mac, and Windows, and I have it secured with one of these YubiKeys to make sure all of my passwords are safe and secure. Number 4 is Fantastical. Number 4 is Fantastical, and Fantastical is by far the best calendar app that I've found so far, which is really, really annoying actually, because it doesn't work on Android, and I have struggled still to this day to find anything that works just as well on Android. Now, similar to Todoist, Fantastical lets you use natural language to manage your calendar. So I can type in meeting with Chris and it will automatically populate and invite Chris. Meeting with Chris at McDonald's in London. Again, pulling the location in on the 1st of every month, and it will do all of those things automatically without me having to click around and search and invite anyone. And then you can also choose the calendar it goes into just by typing a backslash and then the calendar name that you want it to use. Now, for me, I have my Apple Calendar, Google Calendar, and Microsoft 365 calendars all in one place, and I'm subscribed to a number of public calendars like public holidays and some community calendars, all of which means I can just look at one calendar in Fantastical and see my whole week, no matter what calendar it's on. Now, if you know of one that's like this, maybe even better, that works on Android, please let me know in the comments, as I'd really, really love to replace it with something else. But until then, Fantastical is the best of the best. Now, next is DaisyDisk, which I use to fight off one of the most annoying issues that comes with owning a computer for any amount of time, and that is that it will eventually just consume more and more space on your hard disk. Temporary files, duplicate files, those download folders that you randomly just stuff things into and forget they ever existed, it all just adds up over time. And no matter how many times you manually go and remove files, it never seems to actually make an impact on the overall disk space. Now this is where DaisyDisk comes in, and I used the free trial like as many times as I could for as long as I could, but recently I just sucked it up and paid for the full version. And it gives you a pretty simple graphical explanation of where your largest files and like folders are on your system. It also groups them up by color, so you can see the bigger the color, the bigger the files grouped within them. So for example, I can see my users file is taking up over 600 gig of space on my Mac Mini. Well, that seems like a lot. Let's see what it is. Click into that and it shows you that it's my profile causing the problem. Good if you have multiple users and you don't know which one's which, but I don't, so click in again. And now we can see that my downloads folder is almost 30 gig. So let's figure that one out. Click into downloads and I can see there are some large video files taking up most of that space, as well as a few installer files. And from here, I can just delete or open a Finder window to browse the actual folders to figure out things from there. I've used this so many times when running low on disk space, and it's really gotten me out of a few jams over the years, so yeah, one I'd highly recommend, particularly if you don't have much disk space left but aren't quite sure where it's all gone. I am currently running a giveaway on this channel for one of these. It's an iPhone 13 Pro in graphite, the 256 gig model, and all you need to do to enter this worldwide giveaway is to let me know in the comments down below what piece of tech are you looking forward to buying this year. That is literally it. I'm going to post a video to announce the winner as soon as we hit 50,000 subscribers, so pop your comments down below and wait to see that video where I'll announce the winner of this iPhone brand new 13 256 gig model in graphite. Whew, that is a mouthful. Best of luck to everybody entering. Now let's crack on with the actual video. Next up is one that I've only really recently discovered, and that is Acronis Cyber Protect Home Office. And I love that in this job of reviewing stuff like every week, once in a while I come across a new thing that I just genuinely really like, and this is one of them. It's a backup product that backs up my Mac to the cloud, and it just works really well. I have it set up now on my Mac Mini and my MacBook Air, and I'm working on my way around like other machines around the house to make sure that it's on there too. But from all of the testing that I've done on various backup products, particularly cloud-based products, this really stood out since Acronis first started out as someone that created tools for IT businesses, and one of those tools was backup. So I know that it works really well, it's reliable, I can back up as much or as little as I need, and the interface is actually really clear, easy to understand. It also has some additional cybersecurity protection built in to stop you from picking up any malware, and whilst I don't visibly go into Acronis every single day, it's always there, always on in the background, always backing up to make sure that I don't lose everything, which is something I'm glad to have finally found, since my whole life is basically stored within, you know, all of my files, folders, photos, old videos taken off like older mobile phones, like documents, and just everything else. Now I'm pretty sure there's also a discount below for this one, so be sure to check that one out. And I'm planning on making a full review on this, which is coming very soon, so subscribe if you want to check that one out as well. And then lastly, this video isn't sponsored, but I want to give a shout out to CleanMyMac, who I actually wanted to have on board as a sponsor because of their great CleanMyMac software. But you might not know this, that over the last few weeks and months, their company has been hit hard by the Russian war, as their team is like mostly in Ukraine, and so have had one of the most challenging environments to operate a business in that, you know, more than any of us will ever likely face in our lifetimes. So similar to DaisyDisk, CleanMyMac will scan through your Mac and identify any areas that need improvement. And a quick scan of my Mac uncovered around 25 gig of junk files that could be removed, and as well as some steps that could make it run faster. Now there are also a ton of options for emptying trash, removing malware, removing browsing history, and you can even help you uninstall applications which are suspicious, I guess, particularly with their latest update that highlights any apps that are associated with Russia or Belarus development teams. So whilst it is a great app that does a ton of things, and even if you don't think you need it, then I'd really appreciate it if you showed them some support by signing up. So I'm going to leave you some links down below for that. And like I said, this isn't a sponsored thing. I just really hope that they make it through this horrendous war that Russia has inflicted on their country. So next, go and watch this video and let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye-bye.